Which brings us to the business sector, because that's where the money comes from when they talk about infrastructure investments. Some of them go to the roads and highways that we think we need. But from the data that you have, what is it really that we need to spend on? If we were to talk to the business sector and say, let's put your money to work more efficiently, as a bike advocate, as somebody who's into sustainable transport, where should they invest the money?
So they should invest the money in areas that expand our public transport supply, that reduce the need and dependence for cars, and they should spend the money in ways that improve that general system of mobility. And I'll be very specific because we actually wrote a paper on this. From 2010 to 2021, Kathy, the Philippine government in its public investments budgeted for 2.8 trillion pesos in terms of road infrastructure. Around 99% of that was for road construction, widening, and maintenance that prioritizes cars first. Only 1% of that over the past 12 years, that 12-year period, was allocated for pedestrian and cycling infrastructure, and even the expansion of road-based public transport supply. So what that meant was people were induced, the demand was induced for private vehicles, and what that meant was our roads became more congested. In fact, over the past decade, so since 2012, public transport trips in Greater Manila area's major roads have plummeted by double digits. So you really see the collapse in public transport trips, and you see increases in private car and private vehicle trips. So double-digit growth. So car-centric public budgeting has actually harmed everyone in the process. People became slower, and our roads became less of a way for us to live, but it's become a way for us to suffer. In traffic. So we've gotten stuck in our ways. The other thing that we found in our research, we looked at investments, pledged investments in transport infrastructure over the next decade. And we saw that in the transport infrastructure flagship project pipeline, around 2 trillion pesos is planned. Around 98% of that is rail, only 2% for road-based public transport infrastructure. And so what that meant was you won't see rail is good. Rail investments are great, but you won't see the effects of them for another 5 to 10 years, right? But we need solutions now, and that's why we're pushing for expansion in public transport supply, improvement in cycling and pedestrian infrastructure, and government listen. We were able to push for an additional around 700 billion pesos worth of road-based public transport infrastructure projects in that pipeline. So before it used to be just 2% of the pipeline, now it's 27% of that pipeline. So it's good when you have a movement that points to possible solutions and works together to make that change possible. And we can do that if we study and work together in collective solutions.